One. What was it? Hello, Adam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's Canada, Adam?
It's pretty good, except it's full of pedophiles. Just kidding.
Ah, not the best thing to start a live stream with.
No. It's great. I was just making fun of your interview yesterday. That's all.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we can talk about that on some other live stream.
No worries.
Not
It's
the
all
best,
good.
not the best topic to start at the main show. So, good evening, good afternoon, to everybody. Today we have the domain expert with the capital letter, Adam Dicker, and of course, we'll be talking today about finding a domain name owner. So, if you are chasing a domain name, and especially today, when it is becoming more and more difficult, Adam will share his experience and approach on finding the domain name owners. Then Adam will be talking about other things as well, some interesting new things, and Adam will be looking into a small portfolio of 4 different .com domain names, and then of course an open Q&A session with Adam.
So you didn't last time you said I was wearing a pink shirt, so today I wore a blue one, so we wouldn't be gender specific.
Well, today we are blue.
Yes, we are. But
have you actually heard of the new term super straight?
No.
No. Oh,
I
you
have
should
not.
look it up. You should look it up. Hey, Google it up.
I'll just write it down.
No.
Like everybody else, I take notes too.
Hey, it will be actually quite interesting. So before we start, the first people who start connecting, you can open your screen. It will be interesting to see your thoughts. And so, but share the screen first.
Okay, hold on.
Share the screen
I got
first.
lots to share today, so
yes.
it's going to be a pretty crazy day. So, all right, I'll share the screen, and I'm afraid to find out what I'm going to look at here, but sure.
Of course.
Super straight. Here we come.
No. Share the screen first, please.
I am. I haven't done anything.
Very good.
There we go. So now we're here at Google.
Hey, Google. And
hey,
super
Google.
straight.
What is? Oh, it says meaning too. To even put that in. Super straight. Over the past week, some people and I have been openly referred to.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Google, be quiet. Over the past week, super straight. My Google thing here is trying to talk to me. People transphobic campaign.
Sure thing. What would you like to ask me?
Nothing. Google, be quiet. Hey, Google, be quiet.
Hey, Google, you are most welcome to interrupt.
Hey, Google, quiet. You can tell that we clearly script these shows ahead of time and they're perfectly run. Super straight start. Okay, so it looks like it's a hashtag that's trending for.
Ooh. For the last 2 weeks, it is a new term. So super straight. Have you found the meaning?
Urban Dictionary, the term is meant for the preference of the opposite sex with exclusion of transgender people.
Bang.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion, but who knows? I mean, I would say that I would classify as super straight. But who knows?
So here we go. The educational evening has just started. But what we do here, we talk about the domain names. And of course, you have Adam Dicker. At the moment, he has a domain portfolio of 30,000 domain names. He is one of the most famous and most well-known people or personalities in the domain name or businessman in the domain name industry. So Adam, how often do you need to find domain name owners?
You know, it really depends if I'm looking at them because a domain name owner is usually because I want to buy a domain name. So I would guess that's what it would be. But there's lots of other reasons to take information, or whether it's email that somebody sent you and they're saying, hey, I'm interested in your domain name. So there's other ways you could Google to find who's really behind an email that you've received, or if your primary purpose is just to go out and find a domain name owner. I used to do it a lot more in the past. I still do it if I'm trying to find somebody specific to buy a domain name from. And there are tons of ways and tons of tools to use to be able to do that.
Can you remember the last domain name you had hard time finding the owner?
Well, it's probably recently. So I'll give you a quick tip that sneaks in here is one of the big things besides the what did I write? Super straight. Another big term that's coming out and it's going to be everywhere is vaccine passports.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's either called vaccine passports or vaccine immunity, and it's what people are may have to carry, at least in Canada, to prove that they are vaccinated. So if you want to go into a restaurant and they only want to take a chance on people who have been vaccinated, you'll have to carry proof, and it's called a vaccine passport. So
Okay.
you will probably have them come up in local countries and other words for some of them for people that get vaccinated or that don't get vaccinated, and they'll need to provide proof for certain things, probably like flights but I know for some of the restaurants and bars and things like that, some owners will be insisting on that because then you can have a much larger crowd at the establishment than if you just let everybody in and have to keep them still a bit away from each other. So I registered vaccine passports recently. And I was looking at, for curiosity's sake, who owned the Com or what other ones that were available.
Yes.
So I was just Googling. I didn't really go as far as I could because my curiosity was not as high at the time. And I saw it. I was watching. I keep a TV here beside me. I can show it to you. There's a TV. I watch the news all day.
All day.
All day. And when I'm not on an interview live, I listen to it. And I heard the term vaccine passport. And I thought, okay, head to the computer. Let's see what's going on. And let's see who's interested in what's going on. So yeah, e-passport, I've had that one actually for a long time. E-passport and e-passports I've owned for probably about 8 years because I figured eventually
Okay, we have some interruption, but Adam will be back in a minute. So, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I can see there is a question of Jim, and this is a sample of a question we will ask to Adam. We will wait for Adam to be back, to return, and let me quickly check if I am online. Hopefully it is just Adam or it is frozen. No. Okay, the stream continues running, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody, depending from where you are from. On every Wednesday, Adam tries to come in to HostMaria streams, and he shares his years and years of experience, of professional experience on buying and selling domain names. And today we are talking about how to find a domain name owner. And I can see that Adam's connection has totally disappeared. It means he will be back. And no worries. And you can start preparing your questions as well. And the mission of these streams is to educate webmasters and possibly give webmasters or other online entrepreneurs a chance to understand how domain name industry works. Domain name industry by itself, it is quite small, and people mostly, or the larger players, know each other. And my tip would be, if you are going into this industry, you have to work on your name. You have to stay a good man. Okay, and Adam is back. Hey, Adam.
Well, that was pretty weird. I was answering a question, and the next thing I know,
no problem.
So I was talking about e-passports.
E-passports, yes. So this was the thing as well. Yes.
Yeah. So I bought e-passports like 8 to 10 years ago because I knew eventually electronic passports was going to be a thing. So that was just a lucky one. But then when I saw the news and I saw the vaccine passports and vaccine immunity, I thought, okay, better go take a look and see if those are available. But yeah, it could be e-passport in your country. It could be anything. Okay. I just know here in Canada, we're calling it right now vaccine passports.
Okay. E-passport will be probably something else. And so, what kind of domain you were looking specifically? Who owns vaccine passport? Or
yeah, I was looking for who owned the com of the same name, vaccine passport. Now, in this case, again, people may look up the singular or the plural. It's one of those tricky ones. But when people need a singular, because they only need one passport for themselves, they'll look up the singular. But if they're looking up for their family, they'll look up the plural. So it's a little bit tricky. But both are good.
Can we follow? And thank you for that. That is really valuable remark. And can we try to replicate your process of searching who was the owner? Could you show us?
I didn't really. It was late at night, and I didn't really go all that far. I just looked to see which ones were available. I snafu'd them up, and then I didn't really go much farther than that. So normally what I would do is, we can go through a process, but I've got quite a few different tools to show you. I just have to figure out which ones we want to start with. There's some neat stuff that I want to show you as well that's related to it. But so first, I'll just tell you what I would do first of all. I would try to find out who owned it. My original thing would be to look at the who is. Sometimes they're retracted on general who is tools, but then if you go to the actual registrar itself, like GoDaddy or somebody else, they'll show you the full who is information if it's not retracted. So you can't be fooled at the first one if you go to a general tool and think it's retracted, because some registrars only show it through their own who is tool to generate traffic and obviously show their ads and things like that. Then what I would do is I would Google the name, see what comes up, and then I would look at the site and see whether it's a landing page, see if it's got a buy now thing. And then what I would do is, in this case, it didn't, and the site, I don't even believe, resolved that I was looking for. Then I would go to places like GoDaddy, Afternic, and Sato. And here's exactly what I did. I typed in vaccine PAS and did a search on all those sites to see what would come up and see if any of those names were for sale. In this case, they didn't come up, so I didn't go any further. Actually, there's very few vaccine names for sale now, maybe because Sato's banned COVID domains or whatever it is, so who knows. But this is a general passport for a vaccine that will be available. So after that, what I'll do is I'll check to see when it was registered, and then I'll look at some of the who is history sites, which I will show you. I just want to make sure I go through my whole process first. And I'll look at the who is history sites, because a lot of times when people buy a domain name, it's not automatically turned private, especially if they bought it a few years ago. So you can be able to see who did that. The other thing I'll do is I'll look at archive.org, and I'll take a look at what the page was and if it was up, and if there was a contact page, I look at who the contact was back then, and see if I can get a hold of them and see if I can do it like that. I'll also look up if they've done anything with it on social media, if they've done any shout outs or anything. So I'll check Twitter and I'll check Facebook. It may lead me to somebody else related who may have mentioned the domain name, and then I see it tied to their Facebook profile, and then I look at the contact information of that. Or it may just give me the person's name because it's indexed with them, and then I can go look them up on LinkedIn. And then when I go to LinkedIn, there's a couple tools that you can get any email address off somebody who's on LinkedIn with a tool called, there's two tools. One is called Lusha, and the other one is called Lead Leaper. They're both plugins for Chrome and for other browsers. You basically just go to their page, click the button, and it'll give you all their personal information. And I will show you that as well, because it's pretty cool.
Wow. Okay.
So, and I've even looked up a name. My original company when I started in domains maybe 20 years ago was highimpactsites.com.
Yes.
So I let that domain lapse a long time ago. And then what I did was as an example for the show, I decided to go and look and see if I could find myself. Yeah.
Yes.
So I did that, and I looked back with a who is history tool that I'll show you, where it showed that, yes, I was originally the owner of the domain name back in like 2012, but I had it long before then. I guess I just started tracking it about then. And I was able to do all that stuff. So those are the things that I would do. And then I'll show you a neat little tool that's got, that does have the who is history, and you can sign up and you get like 1,000 searches for like $15. And it's not as expensive as some of the other ones like Domain Tools or some of the other more well-known ones. Yes. And it's pretty easy to find. You can also, which will be interesting, and I guess I should just start sharing screens and going through some of this, is you can also download the whole database of any TLD or CCTLD that you want for a fee. And I wouldn't suggest doing that unless you want to. There's a lot of marketing that's involved and things like that. Yes. So there's a lot of cool things and tools. So I will start to share screens, and I'll go through them in some sort of an order, and hopefully it makes sense. And obviously, if people have questions, I won't be able to see the questions because I'll be sharing my screen, but happy to answer the questions.
Thank you, Adam.
Let me just figure out what screen I want to start with. I just want to figure, okay, so I'll start with this one because it makes the most sense. Share my screen. Now I got off it to come here.
And you can definitely ask your questions, and the general questions will be left for the end of the show.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Just stick with us and wait for the answers.
So this is a tool, the one that I mentioned. It's called Lead Leaper. It's leadleaper.com. It's a free extension. I'm going to show you how to use it. If you guys want to write it down, Lead Leaper. It's a picture of a frog. It looks like this icon up here, if you can see my mouse.
Very nice. Yes.
And it's pretty easy. So I'm going to shut that one down so I have less windows. And then this is the story that you gave me, which I don't need any longer. Let's go over to LinkedIn.
Yes.
So we go to LinkedIn, and then I'm on this guy's page. So what do? I hit Lusha, and it pulls up all this information about him. That's his email. That's his direct phone number, and it gives me everything about the person. So if you don't think it works, you can try anything, and you can also try Lead Leaper on the same page. I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to sign in with this. I'll do this one after. But
so
yeah, you can.
So Lasha is the second tool. Yes.
Yeah, Lusha is the second tool, but it's good. Like I can pick anybody here in the sidebar, anybody that I see. I'm just going to pick a random thing.
Yes.
And it'll pull up his information. And if I want to show the contact information, it tells me what his email address, anil.t@fiverr.com. It tells me what company, how many employees work there, and so on. And you can do this and for almost anybody on here. It even gives you the industries that they're interested in, when the company was founded, and his other social media stuff. And then if I wanted to, I could add him to a prospect and find out more about him later. So that's just how that works.
And how would you spell Lusha?
L-U-S, let me go see if I have it here. Yeah, here's the thing here. The plugin is called Lusha, easily connect to B2B contact information. And this is where I added it in Chrome. Again, it's a cheap plugin. You probably would spend like $30-$40 and it would last forever. There's a bunch of other ones, but those are two of the better ones. So I'll close down that window. We'll go back to this guy. And again, you can search anybody that you want, any one of the people you know, somebody who wants to connect with you. I don't know. And well, that used to be he was the senior vice president at GoDaddy. That's Warren Edelman. I worked actually for him. And then I could go and here it comes up with his information. Well, I don't really want to show it, but it's got his contact information and stuff like that.
Yes.
We'll show that. He's no longer with GoDaddy, but you see it obviously works. And you can pick anybody. You could do a search for anybody that you want. I'm just going to pick anybody named Jim. I don't know. Hopper. I'm just making somebody up. I'll pick anybody randomly. I don't know this person. I'm not connected to this person. But yet, if I want to get their information, I can pull it up and it'll give me all of their information, however I want it, in their dashboard. Or if I want to use Lead Leaper, I'm just going to stop sharing so I can sign in for a second.
Yes.
To this, so that I can show you that. And I'm logging in.
I actually use Find That Lead. That was a great deal on AppSumo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who the person is. I don't know who Jim is, but then when I hit Lead Leaper, let me go back and share my screen.
Of course.
You'll be able to see whatever we want to see on Jim. Let's go back to Jim, which is here.
Bang.
And then we can go by anybody. So I could pick that, or I could pick Lead Leaper. I could pick this guy. I could pick anybody and just hit the Lead Leaper button, and it'll look it up and tell me who it is, any information and things like that it has on Luke Worth. And there you go. It's thinking, but it will come up with it. And so there's lots of good tools you can use for LinkedIn. There's lots of good plugins that you can use if you don't want to buy their sales tool or anything else.
Yes.
It's taking a minute because it's the first time I've used it on this machine. Let me see if I can speed it up a bit. But oh, here it goes. Advisor. It's looking for tells you where he's working, and it's looking for his contact information, stuff like that, phone number, and it'll pop it up. Obviously, Lusha gives you a bit more information. It depends what you're looking for. But if you're just looking for an email because somebody emailed you and they used a different email address, you can use that. I'm going to shut this down just because I'm pretty much done with LinkedIn for now. So let's go to, we don't need the Lead Leaper page anymore. We can go to some other resources. So this was a domain history tool. It's called Whois. I'll put the URL in the chat so people have it.
Yes.
There it is there.
I'll share it in a second.
Yeah. So this allowed me to do a search for high impact sites, which is a company I owned. It shows you the current screenshot. It shows you that there's 40 historical records found at 10 different registrars, and 83% of the records show public. Its changes detected 2,600 times, 9 different owners. That's interesting. But it could be who is stuff too. And it's been active for 3,637 days. So if I want to scroll down and see who it was, well, I don't really care about all these historical ones. The only one I wanted to look at was see if it had me in here. And then when I scrolled all the way to the bottom, it showed that I had it at GoDaddy at some point in Richmond Hill, Ontario, and it was under me, Adam Dicker, AMD at High Impact Sites. So there's no way to find out any of this information now. Now, obviously, this stuff doesn't help you if you're looking for the owner of High Impact Sites because it's not me.
Yes.
But it does show you that there's historical information available, and you can see all the dates that it has it down here on the side. So obviously, I would start to look from the top and figure out who it is the most active one that they have. That one's redacted. The next one looks like it's redacted. And you just keep going till you find out who it was. Okay, this one is weird. Alibaba Cloud Computing. Interesting. That's in China. Interesting that they picked up that name. Interesting, eh?
Oh,
so
yes.
you can always find interesting stuff. Now, it just could be because I owned it. Maybe they wanted traffic. Who knows? But you can see Alibaba picked it up and changed to them at some point. And we can keep going. I'll go back a little further just to see. Name Nelly Corporation. So somebody picked it up just because I had it and they thought it would be a good name to sell because it was the name of my company. It had a lot of traffic, a lot of backlinks and things like that. So you can see you can get information from here. You can also do reverse domain looks, you can look at subdomains if you're interested. You can set up a monitor and it will tell you if a domain is becoming active or it does change again. It'll tell you if there's another change in ownership or any kind of change. It's a pretty basic tool, but it's pretty good.
And what's the price?
So I'll go to the purchase now. You get like, I think 1,000 credits for like $20. Yeah, $19. And then you can do it. It's pretty easy. And look, if you look, you can set up brand alerts if you want to protect your brand. If somebody registers a domain that has your part of your domain in it, if you want to see different screenshots, whatever you want to see, you can get all kinds of historical stuff from it. And credits obviously go up. You can use it. If you wanted to use it, you could put it as a feature on your website, hook it up to an API, and people could use it, and you'd be paying whatever it is, 1.9 cents per credit, and they could pay like, I don't know, $1 for 100. I don't know what you want to do, however you want to set it up.
Okay.
So there's lots of different stuff on that one. This is the actual pricing page that I had opened. This is where you can get, this is called a whoisdatacenter.com. I'll put that link in as well. And this has some pretty good information too. These are places most people won't have heard of. But what you can do is you can get the whole database of Canada if you actually wanted it and market to it, $2,499,000, and there's discounts and stuff. And then you can open up a sample and it'll show you exactly what it looks like. I'll open it up just for fun. And it'll show you what you get in there. And then they have other stuff that you can use for specific countries where it gives you what they call clean databases. Yeah, I don't know if this isn't going to open because it's in a different window than I'm in right now, but I'll show it to you when we share screens. But anyway, you can see all the countries that are available down here and how many domains that they have listed.
Wow.
They also have a service, so I'm sure everything is in here from Algeria. Here's Latvia with 69,000. So there's lots of stuff, and they go all the way down to countries that have Madagascar, Sudan, wherever you want to go. Or you could buy the whole thing. I'm not that interested, but here it is here. What's neat is they have newly registered domain names. So whatever's registered today, you would get an update on everything that's registered today or yesterday, and you can buy it for like 6 months or whatever. It's like $10 a month or something like that if you buy it for 6 months. And then you get all the information on their name and everything, their postal code, email ID, phone number. And they offer what's called clean lists, which means they will take out all the junk emails, all the marketers, all the stuff that's in there that are parking pages, and just give you actual domain names for real people. So that's pretty cool as well. It's cheap if you want to get a single country or whatever. It's not cheap, but if you're using it for marketing or using it to find somebody, it's a pretty cool thing. It'll tell you what's active, what's not active, what's a park page, again, dropping and things like that.
Okay.
For me, I use it just for the who is. I'm not really all that interested in. Sometimes what's cool, though, is I can get a list of every CA that's registered today or every LY that's registered today or in the last week, and maybe I want to contact them. Maybe I want to start building a website for them, or I want to build their Facebook profile for them. So it's a wealth of really good information. So here's that. This is under newly registered domain names, and it'll tell me that, listen, here's how much it is, and 20,000 domains, who is data per day, 15 to 200,000. and you can break it down by registrar or whatever you want. So you can do it by CA, you can do it by country, by whatever. So they have a lot of stuff. And here's some screenshots. They give you the files of what was registered that day in each TLD, and you can look at it. Let me look at a good one. Here's what the actual data looks like. I don't know if I can zoom in. Yeah, I can a little bit. So you see the domain, you see the date, you see what company, you see Big Rock registered a whole bunch of them. So that's probably going to be parked or something like that. And you can see where they came, and it also shows you who owns them and all their contact information. And you get all that information. Here it is here, where it gives you every CCTLD and GTLD for every day. For that one day, you get hundreds of files for each one, which is it's good information if you're going to actually use it. I find it useful for something like this. So, and
Wow.
if you're looking for also, you can also watch them for dates that they're dropping. So if they were registered a year ago, you know that probably it's going to drop within a year if they just got it. So that's a lot of information on things like that. And who is, but also, like I said, what I would do is I would also go to places like I would Google a name and find out if it's on Yelp. I would find out if they have it. There's Yelp restaurant reviews. This one's Canadian, but I would find out if they have a restaurant review. I would find out if they have a Google Places review. Whatever you can find for that business owner, you can also do. And then also, if somebody sends you an email from a Hotmail or something like that, and you don't know what it is, always Google the email. You'll probably find other places they've used that name on a forum or something like that. And if you haven't, then you know for sure that a lot of the stuff that they're doing is new and just for use. You know that they've set up that email just to target you. So you probably know you've got a pretty big fish who's sending you the information. But some people will use, like I won't use a company email. Sometimes I'll use a Gmail. Not me personally, but somebody thinks they're going to get a better deal by being not transparent. They don't want to tell you they're, I don't know, with the Detroit Tigers baseball team or something like that. So they send you like from Jim whatever at Hotmail. They think that you're going to think they got no money and maybe we'll give them a better price. So that's just a person's way of thinking. So there's all kinds of different ways to go ahead and try and find an owner. The other thing you can do, which is very successful that most people won't think of, and this is another good tip, is if you're trying to buy a domain name, contact the registrar and tell them that you're trying to get a hold of this person. You don't want the name, you don't want the email, but you want them to reach out on your behalf and make an offer for you to that person, and they will do it 9 times out of 10. I have had no problem with that. And it's not because it's me, it's just because you're not asking for anything except to reach out and make hopefully a reasonable offer on a domain name. And all they're going to do is contact their customer and see if they're interested. Companies, especially that offer brokerage services like GoDaddy, have no problem bringing an offer to somebody and saying, hey, not sure if you're interested, but you may have to use their domain buy service, but other registrars you can actually go to and just say, hey, Epic, I'm interested in this domain. It's registered with you guys. Can you just see if he's interested in selling? And that's not a pressure sale. It's just to find out if the guy's interested. Now, registrars like, foundations like CIRA, who is the governing body for all the .cas, CIRA.ca, okay. They have a feature where if it's all redacted, you can still go through CIRA and email the owner directly, and then they have the option to respond to you or not. They do a verification to make sure it's not spam, and you have to respond to it, and then it goes. So probably other ones may do that too. I know that it's been very helpful with me in CIRA. I know it's also quite funny when somebody wants to go after one of my domains, and I know who it is, and it's a domainer, and they fill out the CIRA form because it may be hidden, and I come back and say, hey, it's me, and they're like, oh, damn it, I'm never going to get this name. So that's happened a lot too. Yeah. But for domainers, I would always tell you to make sure your domains are not protected by who is. There's no reason to hide who you are if you want to sell it. You can put it under a mailbox address, a UPS store, or whatever is local to you if you want to use a post office box so that's not your home address or something like that. But make sure that the phone number always and the email always can lead to you. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on some sales.
Absolutely. I've seen so many domainers who actually do hide their details.
Yeah.
And they usually say, well, if a person really wants me, he will find me.
Yeah, no, I don't think that. They don't hide stuff in stores and make us go look for it. So
absolutely,
I wouldn't suggest it. The only names that I have ever covered up in who is privacy would be names that I want to keep. that I have no interest in selling, or I think I have no interest in selling because I'm developing a business on them, but eventually they could contact me through the business. There's no reason for me to hide a parked page domain name. And the only other reason would be is if I'm doing something, not me, but if somebody's doing something illegal and they don't want it tied to them, like if they're running a porn site and they don't want it tied to their name when their kids Google them or something like that, or if you're running an offshore casino or you're doing something you shouldn't be, I can understand why it's redacted. But if you're trying to sell a domain name, there's no point in redacting anything. If you don't want to take the calls, find somebody who can be your assistant, let them take the calls, or get a Ring Central phone number, do something like that, and make sure that somebody's always available to take those calls.
Adam, have you used a tool like Domain IQ?
Let me Google it and see.
And if you have,
I will know in a second. This is Luke's tool, right?
I think so, yes.
This is Luke Lazan from Estabat. I think I've used it once or twice, but not. No, I don't have a membership for that, and I have not used it to sell a domain name.
Okay.
So,
So, what would you do? So, if a person is hiding, and you can't find him, and so what would you start it? Would you start with who is history search?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would obviously go to the domain itself and see if there's any contact information there. If it's a site, obviously I could contact them. If it's a parking page, I can also try to get a hold of Sato or Afternic and say, hey, look, there's no buy now on this. I don't know if the guy's interested. There's no make an offer. He's parked with you. Can you see if he's interested in selling the domain name? Besides that, now if you've got no website, you've got no parking site, you've got no site that actually resolves,
Yes.
then you've basically got to, again, and the only thing you can do is you've got to look at when it was registered. And quite honestly, if it was registered recently and it went right into redacted and it's covered up, besides going through the registrar, or you can even try, some people have tried going even through the hosting company to send the guy a message and offer a commission if that goes through. So you can say, listen, Mr. Hosting Company, HostMaria, listen, if the guy is interested, I'll give you 20%. If he's not, and there's no harm done, I'm not asking for his name. I don't want you to breach privacy. He's your customer. You already know who he is, and see if he'll do it. So those are basically the only ways. Like if I register a name today and it's completely redacted and I put it that way right away, unless I mention it, I do something about it, or there's no real way to get that anymore. But if it was a previous domain that was out there, and even sometimes you'll get a hold of somebody, like could be me, and say, well, I don't own this domain anymore, but I did sell it to this guy, Joe. Well, then at least you've got some path to go on. I appreciate your help. But usually it's not, I don't find a dead end too often, to be honest with you.
Okay. Can I ask you, what do you know about? So ICANN has got these rules that all the domain name owners, they have to verify their details, and their details have to be correct.
Yeah.
Could you comment this part, please? And
Yeah,
as this is totally voluntarily thing, I haven't seen a single case when somebody is being punished for stating wrong details.
Well, first of all,
Thank you.
could be used. It could be used against somebody. For example, if somebody owns and this isn't specifically with ICANN, but we'll go to ICANN in a second. ICANN sends those messages to everybody that owns a domain name. They want you to verify your who is,
Yes.
verify your phone numbers there, but you don't actually have to log in and do anything. You just have to it says don't respond if it's correct. They just want to send you a reminder. I guess if you're a business or you're somebody else and you want to do it. For domainers, it's very tough, but obviously you should have your information correct. A lot of it is to protect people who are owning domains that are in different countries and things like that shouldn't be. So in Canada, you're not supposed to own a CA if you're living if you're not Canadian and you're from another country and you don't have a corporation in Canada, people
Yes.
buy the names. Now, if somebody complains, and I've seen this happen, if somebody complains because Joe Blow has a domain name, he doesn't meet any of the criterias, they will look into it. They will freeze the domain at the registrar and they will take it back. And it's not as simple a process as that, but somebody causes trouble for you, they can cause trouble for you. So you need to make sure that it's accurate and you're following the practices of the country that it's registered in. As far as ICANNs go, I mean, I've received a lot of them, and I'm pretty sure they say that if everything's correct, just ignore this email or something like that. You don't need to respond. And it's just their policy. I would be a better policy if they actually enforced it rather than just sending emails people could ignore. Like if I have to click it, there used to be before where I had to click it, I had to look at the information, I had to approve it and say yes, it's correct. That was early in the days. Now they don't do that anymore.
Oh, no, Adam. Actually, for many extensions, it is still the case. If you do
okay.
not verify, if you do not verify your data within 7 days, then the domain name will be frozen till you do that.
I don't think it applies to com right now. Like
I have to go through our system, but in many cases we can actually.
Well, I can even pull up some of the emails because I do get them.
I am not allowed to share this screen. I'm absolutely sure, but
while you're doing that, I'll pull up an email and see what it actually says because I know I get them all the time.
Oh, actually, .coms as well.
But
well, depending from the registrar.
Let me pull up one of mine. It's from VeriSign, right? From VeriSign?
No. In my case, we are using 20i.
Okay.
At this moment, but the founders of 20i they are also the founders of the largest UK registrar 123 Reg. It is like a king, like McDonald's and Burger King together in the fast food industry.
I'm trying to find one.
That is their position in the UK. So
I'm trying to find one because I did get one recently, but I can't seem to find it. And I'm looking for verify, but that's not doing it.
Oh, actually, yes, Adam. When I registered HostMaria at Namecheap, I did somehow miss that email. Did not respond, and the domain name got suspended. I had to go contact them and validate the contact information. Here you go.
I'll have to look for it. I don't see it.
And that is for for newly registered domain names. Definitely. So at Namecheap it is the case. With us it is the case. Not with all the domains, but with many domains.
Well, I'm looking to see because I mean, I know I got one in the last couple of days because I get them all the time. But I'm trying to see where they went to.
Yes, Namecheap definitely.
Wow.
With us at HostMaria, absolutely as well.
Yeah, I'll have to check and take a look. I can't see any now, but I know I have some. So.
And once we get to the point where we are registrars ourselves, direct registrars, then we'll be enforcing this as well. I will be enforcing this with every domain. As at the moment, I can see, it is mostly problem with Asians, not Africa, not Europe, not South America, not America or Canada, not Russia. Asia. So whoever is watching from Asia, guys, you have, I don't know for what reason you always want to show that you live in the UK or in the USA. Nobody asks you to lie. Nobody. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And it ranges. It starts from India and going up. More eastern direction. Even Koreans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I don't.
We've got clients from all around the world.
I'm sure I have it, but I can't look. I'll find it later, I guess. It's too many emails. Shutting down some of my windows. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, that's the best way to find those domains and things like that is to make sure that you exhaust every possible avenue. And there's probably about 10 to 12 you can try before you basically have to give up. I mean, there's lots. I haven't come across too many dead ends. As a matter of fact, lots of people get in touch with me and ask me to try to help them find a buyer or the seller because they don't know where it is. And I probably have other tools that I use that I've developed, and I just look through and find whatever I can. But no, it's a challenge sometimes. There's no question about it. But it's not that, especially if there's a website on it. I mean, it's very easy. Now they may know some of the websites will even say this domain is not for sale. That's the whole website. And that's their message is clear on what they do and don't want to do there.
Buy it now. Find me and make me an offer.
Yeah.
Why do the people do that?
Because they've been lowballed way too many times. It doesn't mean it's not for sale. What it means is don't bother me with a $50, $500, $1,000 offer for green.com because I think it's worth $1 trillion and everybody's wasting my time. But if somebody brings them an offer that's realistic, pretty much everything's for sale.
The shop is always open.
The shop, for a smart entrepreneur, the shop is always open. Sometimes you'll get much more than it, and they're obviously saying, "Look, a corporation with some money or something can buy it, but don't bother me." It happens a lot.
Okay.
At least at the domains, maybe the domains I look for, it happens a lot.
Adam, could we try actually a test?
Why not?
Let me see. Adam.co.uk. Could you look
Oh,
up
sure. You're going to pick up a name.
No. I'm trying to see. Let us, if you could share your screen.
Yeah, I'll share my screen, but I just shut down.
And I'm taking it out of the thin air. So maybe
The problem is I
simple.
just shut down all my tools, so
Very
we'll have
good.
to open them as we go.
So fantastic. We'll see the process. Let us see. Adam, let us open it. Adam.co.uk.
That's where I'm going to start.
If Adam is not there, let's go Maria.
Okay, so it's here.
Okay.
They give me a nice email up here. This may or not be the one that I want to go to.
Okay.
So that's something it tells me it's data and backup recovery service. Probably this one's not going to be for sale. Probably I'm going to look at the contact us.
Yes.
I'm going to look at the form. I'm going to see that they have this here. I'm also going to maybe inspect the form just to see if the email is different on the actual form where the form gets submitted to, rather than just the what they tell us, because sometimes it's different. So I'm going to look through that. I'm going to see what I can find, and then I'm going to go. They did give us something else that's good information. They gave us the partners. So I'm going to look at the partners. And because they're partners, I'm going to look who they are. Okay, those are just partners. Those aren't investors.
Yes.
So partners aren't all that helpful. So if they had investors or if they have staff on the contact us or they talk about who they're doing, then I'm going to go and I'm going to also add some of the CEOs and things like that on LinkedIn. I'm going to start a communication with them. So now I'm going to take adam.co.uk, which is Adam and Cloud Infinity. I'm going to open up a LinkedIn window. I'm going to open up a LinkedIn window, and I'm going to get on there and see if this company is already here and who's listed from the company that I can talk to and go from there. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. So let's go back. It's called Adam Cloud and Continuity. Cloud and Continuity. And then the other thing I can do is I can do a reverse lookup from the person that's on there. So it didn't really have much on there. So we'll do Adam Cloud. I may even type in UK, and maybe it'll give me if I'm not under companies. So we go under companies, and we look for Adam Cloud. Again, I can also go back and try to see what that email address was.
And
Adam.
maybe and maybe they have a LinkedIn icon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. But I want this. I want the actual people that are associated with it.
Yes.
So here's this guy. Now we can go in and look at what he does for them, and start to go from here. And we can start to message and go in. It even has his information in this thing if I want to look at it. It gives me his phone number. Tells me about their employees and gives me a lot of other information where I can start from and go from here. Tells me when they were founded. Tells me it's a pretty big company based on the website as well. So this isn't going to be like a domain I can get for a couple $100. They are multiple locations. They're pretty heavy into what they do, which is cloud services. I have their address. I can also mail them something if I want to get in touch with somebody to marketing or accounting, get a hold of whoever I want to get to. But I already have this guy, so I'm probably going to start here, and I'm probably going to start to email this fellow and see where we can go with him and what he knows and go from there. So I'm going to use whatever context I have. Now, if we had a domain name that didn't work, I used to own a domain name. I don't even know if this even works. Back in the day, I used to put all my tools on something called Adam's Tool.
Okay.
And I just bought it just so I could store all my tools so I would know where everything was.
Adam's Tool or Adam's Tools?
It was Adam's Tools.
Adam's Tool. Okay.
Yeah, and I had this now. You can see it's for sale by them.
Yes.
If we bothered to look up the who is this history, I would have it. That's been, I could register almost anything for nothing.
Let us look up
the who is history.
Oh yes, maybe we know even the domainer. Let us catch him.
I don't know who it is, but
Now this
Still
will make
look
it
at
even
the-
more interesting.
Maybe. Let me see where I was. Was it this one? No, it was the XL. Where was it? Complete who is database. Except I want to get to the search, which was who is API. There it is. This one, I have to sign in. Just going to sign in.
Mhm.
I'm not a robot. Done.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows who's a robot? I don't need to save that again. Nope, this was Adam's tool. I probably had Adam's tool as well, but let's look at adamstool.com. See what was there. Let's look it up here instead.
Okay.
Fine. Oh, it's doing it anyway.
Yes.
And then it tells me where it is. It tells me it's been with these guys for a while. It was with Namebright. And then I'd have to go look at the history stuff of it for the other one. One of the things I did want to show you is you can also download this report. So this was one of the ones we had before from High Impact Sites. And it gives you a complete report, a PDF report that you can download as well and go through at your leisure. So down here at the bottom, it'll have everything about me somewhere in here. Whatever I was, I'm pretty sure it was here. Yeah, here it is here. Canada, AMD at High Impact Sites, which is AMD is my initials, Adam Matthew Dicker. And
Sorry,
you'll notice that's still my...
Where is it? Is it on the top? I can't see your mouse.
Oh, you can't see my mouse?
Okay, let me take off the logo.
Oh, no, it's my fault. I put it on a different screen. I'm sorry.
Okay,
let me go back and share the right... It opened up a PDF, so let me go back and share the...
Thank you.
I'll share the right screen so it actually makes sense to our viewers. But I can understand why you can't see my mouse. Application. There you go. Open. And now you can see this. And you can see this is the whole PDF.
Sharing. Yes, okay.
And you can see down here at the bottom, it's got, you'll notice it's even got my same phone number because I haven't changed it in 20 years. But AMD at High Impact Sites, AMD is my initials. So that's why I always use AMD at High Impact Sites. AMD. And then you can go through and you can see all the different revisions and everybody who's bought the name and things like that. There was another one that I saw with me that was Adam at DCG. So I must have changed it at some point too. I saw it as I skipped by. Mm-hmm. Is this it? There's Adam Dicker. That's a mailbox address that I use. Oh, here it is, Adam at DCG. So I changed the email on it a couple of times, and it keeps track of everything. So it's pretty useful, as you can see. And then we can go right back up to the top and look at the same stats that we had on the other page. And you can see, and you can click and go to whichever record you want in the database. It's interesting. So you can download it. If somebody wants who is history on a domain name, sometimes a buyer may want who is history on a domain name before they buy it, almost like a used car. See if it had any accidents and see what kind of history it had. Was it used for, I don't know, a weird pornography site that it's going to be linked to? Is it a clean brand? I mean, so sometimes it's good to be able to provide that kind of information as well. So there's lots of ways to see and look at different things that you're able to find.
That's great. Oh, fantastic. Adam, shall we look into the 4 domain names?
Do you want to do that first, and then we'll go to what domains are dropping tomorrow?
Yes. Let us do the domains, 4 domains, and then we'll go into them. Okay. So next part, 4.com domain names from a viewer sent into through the Facebook messaging system.
This brings back memories because there used to be a user on DN Forum when I first started, probably in 2004, 2005. He only bought shed names, bought names with shed in them.
Really?
Yeah, and it was he was known for that, and I think he did really well with it. But it's interesting. So okay, let's take a look at this. Shedvac, UV Silver. Is that Specker?
Yes.
And UV Rated. This is a tough list. I'm gonna Google some of these just to see what they are. Like, I want to see what Specker is, if it's just somebody who's doing speculation on stuff or if it actually means something else. Specker, nothing really. Specker name meaning family history. So okay, so it's more of a family name. There's a couple cloud streams with it and things like that, but I would probably have to sell that one to somebody who owns the last name Specker because I don't see anything else with it. if he can tell us. UV rated. Although Specker, Specker has no searches per month, so
Wow.
it's not. Yeah, and the other one is, was it UV rated?
Yes, uvrated.com.
UV rated, also no type-in traffic. Let's try
And
UV.
silver.
Yeah, so it could be these are names for
Very
things.
strange choice. Yes.
UV.
And here is actually the guy who has Alan has submitted them. Good evening,
Rated.
Alan. And it should be
Rated. Not
If
sure.
you could, Alan, if you could explain yourself, please. And yes,
I'm going to look up Shedvac.
Mhm.
I don't think that's the same guy. Used to buy the shed names for sure. Okay, so none of them have any type-in traffic per month. So based on that, UV, I mean, typically it means like utility vehicle or ultraviolet. I mean, those are the
ultraviolet.
first two.
Yes, I would think as
The
well.
first two, I mean, something UV rated, ultraviolet rated, or UV utility vehicle and silver. I mean, it could do something there. There's probably other uses for it. Sheds are very popular, though. Sheds are everywhere, and shed vac could be some sort of either a central vac for sheds, or it could be some sort of a vacuum specific to pick up things that would be found in a shed that wouldn't damage your own vacuum. So I'm trying to see if now there's a shield vac that's out there, but it's not shed vac.
Oh, AV rated.
Okay. AV rated.
Oh, so maybe that was then a mistake. A lawyer rating, a lawyer rating.
Okay. But did those names have? They didn't have AV. They were supposed to be AV rated or AV, not UV. Is that what you're saying?
So was that a mistake then when portfolio was submitted? So instead of UV, they are supposed to be AV. Yes.
Or at least the rated one, maybe.
Yes.
Well, it could be attorney. So let me check AV rated.
Okay, and Alan's saying Shedvac was a vacuum for pets.
Yeah. Okay. So AV rated has good traffic. It's got 320 searches a month.
Okay.
And what percentage of lawyers are AV rated? Only 10% of all attorneys. That's what it says.
Okay.
Designation trusted, worthwhile by buyers and referrals of legal services. Okay, so that puts that in a whole different perspective. If it's AV rated, then it's got pretty good, a lot of opportunities for advertising, for listing everybody who's certified, charging people to be listed in there that are certified. I would put that one as the highest value one in the list now that we know what it is.
Yes. Oh, yes, UV rated should be AV rated. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So that does give it a lot of value, especially because only 10%, roughly 10% of lawyers are AV rated. I would tend to put that name based on that, based on all the other sites we have listing teachers and everybody else who are rated. I would put that name probably at a 5K plus rate and build it up. If you can build it up, you can get attorneys, you can get lawyers, you can get everybody in there. And it's got some branding. Now, you can also offer a program to get them rated. If 10% are rated AV, there must be some way that they get certified to be AV rated. So you may want to tie it into that as well. That's a good opportunity for that. And I would put it out on every lawyer's forum or blog or social group you can find and say, hey, it's time to get AV rated, and explain what it means to them if they don't already know, and then go over tell them what the costs are and set up a page and direct them through.
Okay, and the
I would also grab get AV rated as well, because if you're going to do that, you should have that as well.
That is a very, very good tip. Thank you, Adam. And what about the Shedvac? Alan saying.
Okay, so that's completely different. See, that's why it's good to have the background behind it. So if you've got a dog that sheds and it's all over the house, it's probably good, because who knows if all that hair can clog him up. Or you've got some guy that's very hairy and he's shedding all over the house, same sort of thing. Maybe you gotta shave his back once in a while. You want the Shedvac out. It's a good brand. I like it. Never really heard of it, but I do like it. And it makes sense for pets that shed. It's perfect. But I think a site that explains what it is, and then maybe start to advertise in some of the pet groups and show them the benefits of why they should use a Shedvac over a regular vacuum or a hand vacuum or a central vac, that would be benefits to them too. So I'm still going to stick with AV rated and go get AV rated as well, so you can actually get them through the certification process. Being listed in a directory is probably not as important as getting rated that way for some lawyers.
So you would definitely keep AV rated?
Yeah, I'd keep AV rated. I would keep ShedVac, but ShedVac's going to take some work as well to get it out there. If we're not sure right away what it is, and maybe the person who's going to buy it may be thinking about a shed and not dogs shedding or cats shedding or something else. So who knows? It could be anything. But the one here for me would be the UV. Oh, you changed it to AV rated, avrated.com, and I would add get AV rated, and I'd build a business around that.
Okay, and UV silver and Specker?
I can't see the use or the purpose of them, unless there's a special silver UV light that's needed for something. I don't really know.
Okay, thank you. And it looks like there is an interesting...
That's a good one. So I don't know if I got Club Nude. I did not get e-mentions. Very good.
So can we actually quickly check them?
Oh, yeah,
so,
sure.
They were in our list.
Yeah, do you want me to check them?
Yes,
share?
If you could, please.
All right, I'm afraid what's going to pull up on you. This is probably some weird thing you want me to do because you already know that.
No, I haven't got. So it means we know who has bought it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just worried it's going to pull up something else.
So somebody is shining now. But let's see. Yes, this is actually cool. This is the beauty of live streams. Yes.
So Dropcatch got e-mentions, and look, there's only 12 seconds left in the auction.
Oh!
And look, this is one of our guys.
Oh, come!
This is a guy. I know him. He's been emailing me.
Okay.
So he's going to win the auction.
And
done.
Bang. Congratulations.
So this guy has emailed me, and he also is one of the guys who bought the domain tool. And look, he just got it for $280. A steal.
Oh.
A steal. I don't even know what to say. So he was in it. He's smart. He got it. And now the best thing I can tell you, I'm just going to go back to my camera before we do this. Do not undersell this domain name. If you do not know how to negotiate for it, hold on to it and get somebody else who can help you negotiate for it. How's that perfect that we just got it for
for the last
10 seconds? That's weird. Okay, I'm going to share and we'll go back to the other one.
Let us see.
That's very interesting. I must say that we were able to do that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know the guy. I definitely know the guy. Okay, let's look at Club Nude. That's really weird. See, and it's not even a scripted show. That's amazing. Okay, so this one is already on dan.com.
Okay.
Somebody put it there. It's definitely not mine, so I did not get it.
Okay.
I did get a couple other ones, though, but I didn't get this one.
So let us, can we find the owner? Let us see.
Let's see what they've done.
We already know who is the owner, but...
Well, I don't know. I don't know who the owner of this one is. Oh, this is not what I wanted. Who is this one? And it's Club. Now, this one may be retracted. I don't know.
Okay.
It says Club Nude was picked up also by Dropcatch, and they haven't changed the information yet.
Okay.
So it's picked up by Namebright. Namebright has assigned it to somebody, but the person hasn't set anything up yet.
Okay.
So what was the other one? E-mentions?
Yes,
I know that guy. Now, obviously, it's not going to be his name because he just won the auction, but it'll also say Dropcatch, yeah, because he just got it. He's going to have to pay for it and transfer it over, but that's pretty cool, I got to say.
Okay.
Very cool.
I actually thought that our user got them, so but that was...
Oh, our user definitely got e-mentions. He's a viewer. Okay. No question about it. I have him on, he's been asking me questions on WhatsApp, and we've been talking. So he got it, and I'm telling you, for him, it's going to be a gold mine. It's a very good name for $280.
$280.
And that's what I mean. People aren't paying attention. They don't look. So that brings me to our list of names that are dropping tomorrow. Hey, Joe. Good to see you again. So I didn't go through the whole list. I didn't have a lot of time, so I just went through some of them. I will share the tool with you and tell you what I found, and we will look at that. And then I will have the list. So you should be able to see the tool.
Okay. Yes, very.
Okay, so this was just a quick look. One of the best ones on here, if you go by search count, Asian prostitutes, 375,000. Don't know if it's a good name to invest in. Probably not. Co-executors. This is big for wills. It's a pretty big name. Digital installments is if you're paying any credit card, any PayPal, any sort of payment processor, merchant processor that allows installments. Could even be a good thing for like an escrow.com, could be anything. Acting professional, I thought that was okay. It's a decent name. Color influence. This name I put here just because there's so much going on right now with people that are white, black, whatever they are, and so many things going on. Maybe a nice site to show that there really shouldn't be any influence based on color would be interesting. One of the better names dropping this weekend, backup parts. Backup parts and backup part together.
Okay.
They could be combined for anything. They could be backup parts for your car, for a computer, for anything. Couple of decent names. These are names dropping tomorrow, by the way. I decided to not give people till Sunday and let the people who watch the show have a chance to go through and get them first. Not enough for everybody else. Eyebrow repair. I just know it's a big thing. Australia relocation. This is a good one for anybody who wants to move to Australia. So I thought that was a decent name. Australia relocation. Auto developing. Didn't know if I wanted to do something like an auto develop. It could be anything. Auto development of a site could be anything. Could have to do with cars, maybe not. So name. Abused fathers. Don't really know what to put in here, but there are a lot that are abused and that don't come forward because they're afraid of, I don't know, being seen as weak, and they shouldn't be. Bradford dentists. This one I left here, even though it's wrong, because the name that you would want is Bradford dentist, singular.
Okay.
You're always going to go in certain professions where you're only going to see one dentist or one doctor. You want the singular. The Bradford dentist would only be good for a select few clinics who had more than one dentist working in their office. And usually they don't want that. But it's a good geo-domain that I just found for this example. Posh hostels. I don't know if it's a good name for a directory for hostels, but I thought it was okay. So there's lots of those different things that you can look at. And I just ran the tool. I only really got to about E because I was busy. But there's also lots of other names that we can look at and go through, and export as we always do, and do things with that. So I will stop sharing. I'm only going to sell 2 more versions of the tool. I think I've already sold 3 or 4. I will sell 2 more, and that's about it. And for those people, it's $500 US, same as everybody else has paid. And there's updates. There's already an update for it. And I'm working on a Mac version because one of our clients wants a Mac version. So I'm going to have that set up by next week. There'll be a Mac version. And then I've also asked everybody who has it to send me in features that they want, and I will gladly add them for free. It's lifetime updates. So pay once, it's yours.
Is there anything else before we go into live Q&As?
Well, I can do a quick promotion.
Yes.
I set up so I will go into this. I'll share it quickly, and then it's just a quick promotion. It's not nothing weird. I set up a Facebook group. Let me find it.
If you could post the link as well.
Yeah, I will. I don't know why there's a chicken on my thing, so we'll worry about that later. Let me stop sharing and find the group.
Okay.
That's funny. Groups you manage. Oh, there it is. I don't know why there's a chicken, but I swear it's not me. Okay, let's go back and share something other than a chicken. And maybe that's a good lead-in. If you don't get into this group, you're a chicken. If you don't come into this group, you're a chicken. So what I did years ago, I used to operate this site. It was a website. It was called The Art of the Name. I had quite a few videos, maybe 100 or 200. I've also got lots of other stuff, and I'm going to post them in this group. People can join the group. It will be an invite-only group, so we do not get a bunch of people posting spam and junk. There will be no spam. It'll just be information where you can ask questions. It's free. There will be no anything. The group link I will post in the chat when I come back. It's called Facebook group / The Art of the Name, like it was before.
Okay.
You can see so far I'm the only member because I haven't announced it yet. So I'm talking to myself, as usually the case. And it's going to have everything. We're going to set up a whole video area in here where it's going to have all the videos I've done over the years. And I'll show one more thing to share with you. This is a site. It's not launched yet, but what you'll be able to see is I've done hundreds and hundreds of interviews that we're going to go to. And if you look at videos, you'll see that there's courses I've done over 3 days, and there's a large YouTube gallery of videos.
Wow.
And you'll see, look, even ours are there, but you'll see there's tons that I've done and pages of them that I've done over the years. These are all of the Art of the Domain videos that you're seeing come up, and you'll see that there's tons and tons of them that I've done over the years, and you can go up, and there's quite a few more, and it gives you everything on all the tips and everything else. These will be available in the Facebook group as well, because I don't really think that I need to go into the forum world again. I'm happy to get the group. I'm also going to be advertising the group for people who actually want to get in and learn about domain names and websites. You can ask questions about SEO, SEM, websites, domains, tools, anything and everything, no charge. The first group can come in from the video and just hit the invite to come in or add me. After that, they're going to have to be referred by somebody else from this group or from somewhere else, so that we don't get people just coming in and spamming domain names like are full of on all of the other Facebook groups.
Bang.
No BS. It's just going to be fun, and you can learn and ask questions.
I have joined.
Oh, there you go.
Without answering the questions.
I have to approve you. Yeah, I think I made up some fake questions, like how many domains you have, and I don't know what the other ones were. I'll take a look. But I will approve you, I promise. The people that I know from here will get approved right away. And it's going to be a really fun group because we're going to have some contests and stuff too. We're going to play Win Adam's Money. And it's just going to be basic questions.
Okay.
The other thing we'll save till the end. The other contest that we were going to talk about, we'll save that one to the end. We'll just tease them a little about the geos. Remember?
Okay.
So we'll tell them that afterwards.
Fantastic. So please join us once again. You can see the group. Meanwhile, join, and we are going into the main section, the second main section of live Q&As, live questions and answers. Let me put up we have live Q&A. Adam?
I'm here. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and get ready to tackle whatever they give us.
Absolutely. So Jim Bryant, is it better to buy expired domain name or buy it directly from the owner?
Now, Jim, that's an excellent question. I have to answer this in two ways. There's a couple of tricks to this, and one is how badly do you want the domain name? And I ask that because if you buy it directly, you're probably going to pay more, maybe, in the drops, but then you'll get it before it goes to the drops when you're competing with a bunch of other domainers. The other problem is if it's about to expire and you contact the buyer and you ask, say, hey, I'm interested in buying this domain name, they may just decide they forgot about it and will renew it and keep it and never sell it. So both are very tough decisions. It depends on the name. Based on my experience, I have found that it's better to buy it expired unless it's a domain that I really want. Like I think I told you this a while ago. I was after articles.com, and it's owned by some flower shop or something like that, and they were never selling it. It was a ton of research I did to find these people. Okay. And it's like $100,000 plus name. I think I even offered him $100,000 at the time, and he just said no. And we had a talk. I finally got him on the phone, but he didn't end up selling it to me. But it's a great name. I think he may still own it, or maybe he sold it, but I'm sure he got less than what I was offering him at the time because I offered a lot of money at the time. So in most cases, it's best to, if you can negotiate with the owner and get it at a price that you're happy with within your budget, it's fine. Then you don't have to deal with the wolves that are out there like us who are trying to catch expired domain names. But the good news is that people don't have as much money to spend on expired names these days. They're busy wasting it on tons of crypto that probably will never take off when there's only about 6 or 10 that are going to be of value. So me included, I'll take a chance on a flyer on like a couple of penny or 10-cent cryptos.
Why not?
No, you got to. But a lot of domainers have shifted away to crypto because they think it's faster and it goes up overnight, and then they trade it like stocks. But to answer your question, it really depends on how bad you want the domain name and if you think somebody else is going to go after it. So if you have a domain name that you want and it's expiring and you don't think anybody's going to go after it at all, I would say don't buy it direct and don't buy it off the expired auctions. Just wait and get it at a registration fee of like $10. I've done that before, but then you take a chance that nobody else decides to go after it. So there's lots of different things you can do. And by the way, congratulations to our listener who picked up e-mentions.
$280.
Yeah, but I can't believe we were there for the last part of it, the last 10 seconds. What are the chances of that? It's funny.
Here's another question. Hi, Adam. I would like to know about the extensions that you frequently invest in. I mean, based on your last year's sales data. Thank you.
So that's a pretty, based on sales data, I would say there's no question about it. I've had most of my sales in the .ca, but that's because I invest heavily in the .ca market, and I own a ton of premium domains in the CA market. Besides that, I stick with .coms and I stick with some other country stuff. But as far as revenue been, for me, I can honestly say it's been all CA and all com with at least one .ag that happened to be a fluke that I sold, and those are it. Otherwise, it's .ca and .com for me.
Okay, fantastic. And Bill is saying e-passports are also known as biometric passports.
Yeah, and biometrics, Bill, are obviously really good. I use my Google Pixel 5, and it always asks me for everything. Do I want to sign in with biometrics? I will write down the fact that it's called biometric passwords because I like that, but biometrics means it's going to have to be tied to either your fingerprint, your eye, or something like that. But I do like biometric passports. So
it sounds great as well.
I think it's a good one as well. But all I've been hearing on the TV is
yes.
Sorry, all I've been hearing on the TV is what are they called? Vaccine passports. And then I just saw our new friend who just started a few weeks ago.
So here we have Jim is saying, I have started a few weeks ago with domaining.
Okay, Jim. Best tip of advice for you starting, and I've been doing this for 20 plus years. Go slow. Don't buy a lot of domains at once. Don't even think about buying handfuls or hundreds. It's nothing to do with the volume of domains you own. It's all about the quality. And the most important thing I can tell you is only buy a domain name if you think a business would be interested in owning it because they could describe their whole business. And feel free to hit me up. I tell everybody you can ask questions on WhatsApp or email, and I'm happy to answer them. Some of the viewers that are here can validate that I actually pick up the phone and I actually answer them or I reply to their WhatsApp messages.
Okay, thank you. Christopher is asking, who does Adam use in the USA to register new names?
That's a good question. Most of my names are registered with Hexonet, Hexonet. They're Germany originally, but they own a bunch of other registrars, and they have a Canadian. Hexonet itself is in Canada. It's in Vancouver, and they have most of the TLDs or GTLDs. I would use them because of some volume I have there. I get some decent prices. And listen, I've used GoDaddy if I want to get them in the GoDaddy premium listings, but GoDaddy again only does certain com.net.org in premium listings. So CA is there. There's no value to me. If GoDaddy was smart enough to add them to the premium listings, they would see thousands and thousands of more CAs come into GoDaddy, but they haven't done that in years. So there's lots of good ones that you can use for the US. I haven't used Enom in years, but they were good. My first registrar that I ever used was called .register or .register. That was the first one I ever used, and it was a long time ago.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Alan is saying thank you, Adam.
Yeah, and if you guys need referrals to get cheaper domain names or something, I can help you out and give you somebody to talk to at Hexonet or wherever you want, hopefully, and get your prices reduced.
And what prices are you talking about?
Just like for com and whatever else they want to buy. I mean, if I'm getting a better price than them, I'll definitely refer them to get adjusted pricing, especially if they got portfolios and they're just buying one name. I'll help them out. Happy to help out.
Another
yeah, Gene, I'll give you that. You're right about that. If you're looking to set up a directory site, the plural is obviously better because nobody's going to look for one dentist in a directory unless that dentist is going to get all the traffic. But Gene's right about that. It's good if you're going to do a directory site. And it's funny because I just picked this one out, and there's a Bradford not far from me. So that's why I picked it out, probably about 10 miles north of me or something like that. So that's a good point. If you have the time and you want to build out a directory site, then Bradford Dentist is your best choice. But if you're just looking to sell a name to a dentist, you can call every dentist in Bradford. And another thing, Bradford is multiple places like Richmond Hill. Like with Joe, we know Richmond Hill's in Georgia. We know there's one in UK, and we know there's one right near me, south of me, about 10 to 20 miles. So,
And these are only the three ones we know.
oh
There
yeah,
could be-
there's
there should be more.
there's going to be more. But Franklin is one of the top cities that has. I think we've talked about it. Franklin is one of the ones that has like 47 different cities for it. So you can Google it, and you'll see a whole list of cities that are used in more than one place, city names, and you'll find all kinds of them.
Okay, fantastic. Freeman, is flipping personal domain names adamdicker.com legal, or is it cyber squatting?
Personally, I would say it's gray at the very best, and
Yes.
cyber squatting. It could be seen as that. Personally, I wouldn't go after somebody's direct name. I would be more likely to sell a family name and say, look, there's lots of Smiths, and that way you're not targeting one person. There's a guy who owns dicker.ca. He's owned it for about 10 years, and he purposely holds on to it just so I never get it. So people do that, but I wouldn't personally recommend squatting or selling a direct name, especially if it's a unique name. Like if you've got Helmuts' name and you've got his last name, Meskonis, and you've got it all there in one, there's no question about it. You are cyber squatting on him. So personally, I prefer to sell last names. I can, like, if I wanted to sell my name or I had somebody else's, or I said, look, this guy's no longer doing it. It's like $10 or something like that, maybe, but not to sell it for like hundreds of dollars to do it to somebody. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, and here is Tadas, and now I will share. I will share screen. So let me go to like this share screen, and Tadas was watching our video, and I will remove this thing and a comment.
And hang around because we've got a good contest at the end.
Yes. So here was about lead generation tools and
Yeah.
blockchain domains, and Tadas said, "And great podcast, thanks." Thank you, Tadas. Thank you. And so he's just for now he has around 90 domains and has just started 2 months ago, before New Year. And today, after the stream, he bought 7 blockchain and crypto domains.
Okay.
We'll see. So also succeeded to buy 4 domains from the Adams list.
Good.
Very great. And which ones? Here we go.
Okay, so this could be the contest one that we try. Since he listened and since he learned.
Okay, let me see if it is possible to go into the. Sorry. Yes, Adam.
I'm thinking if you go back to that list,
Yes.
this may be the one where we go for CA tutors or Cal tutors and actually try to sell this one for them. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to pick a geo domain name. So the goal of this little thing is to have you guys post geo domain names, pick one that we like, and then I'm going to try from today on to try to sell it, and you will be able to see the whole process because I'm going to document everything that I do, and every week we'll update it unless it sells within the first week, and we'll see how we go. So if you guys have geo domains that you want me to try to sell, we'll pick one, and we'll see what we can do, and it may end up being CA tutors or Cal tutors or something else unless we get something better here. But I'm happy to pick one of those. So feel free to pop up. What I'm looking for is a geo with a decent city and a service. So it could be a plumber, could be an electrician, could be a locksmith, could be a tutor, could be anything. Whatever it is, could be a landscaper, could be a groomer, could be anything like that. Because what I'm trying to do now is show you guys that a lot of people talk and a lot of people can make up BS, how great they are and how they sell domains. I actually want to document it, and we'll document the successes and the failures that we have with this domain name so you guys can see how it's done. It doesn't sell right away on the first phone call. Not usually.
Fantastic. So, Tadas, how do you like this idea? So choose one of the names, Cali tutors or CA tutors. And
So it's an interesting one because Cali tutors limits me to California, but CA tutors limits me to California or Canada. So it's very interesting.
Let's stick to CA tutors.
Well, I'm not sure. Let's see what everybody else has. If there's other domain names, we can take a look. But we can keep those. I'll write those down and keep them so that we have them so far.
Verified. That testifies something about from earlier one.
Oh,
Yes.
I think it's maybe that I answered his questions or something.
Yes. Otto is saying he is in Richmond Hill as well. Okay.
Where in Richmond? Which Richmond Hill?
God,
In the
we are
UK?
We are having too
What's
many.
going on here today? I think everyone's just starting to say that now after Joe said it.
Or maybe Facebook is or YouTube are targeting people from Richmond Hill.
Maybe we only target only viewers from Richmond Hill, wherever they are. Okay. Anybody have any other geo names before we decide which one we're going to go with?
Okay, there is
Oh, that's good.
Temple Lawn Service.
Tempe. So my office was when I was with GoDaddy. My office was in Tempe. It's in it's a suburb of Phoenix, kind of. So I'm guessing Alan's probably in Phoenix.
Okay.
Tempe Lawn Service. It's not bad as well because in Tempe, lawn service is year round. It's not like in other places where it's just.
Okay, and here is Joe
Oh,
from the UK.
oh, there she goes. Same
Another
thing.
from the Hill, and Otter is in Canada.
Otter, you're like 10 minutes from me, man. We should meet for coffee.
Here we go, Toronto.
I'm offering to meet you for coffee anytime now that everything's open. And you can chat my ear off.
Except with the Wednesdays.
Yeah, well, Wednesday afternoon, yeah.
Oh, here's another one. Main Antique Store.
Okay.
What would it better? Main Antique Store or Main Antique Shop?
This one really doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
Yeah.
shop would be more. Both of them are good for this. It doesn't.
Yes.
There's no real better one on this one. Honestly, I'd have to type in traffic to see.
Yes. And Tadas says he loves the idea. Now, just start putting the domain names, the geo domain names in the list, and then Adam will choose one. So Adam, you will choose one or more than one.
I don't know yet. Let's see what we got. I mean, if I'm doing 2 or 3, then at least it gives us something to follow. We may have updates on one week and no updates on another, so we may be okay to do that. Plus, I love the challenge.
Okay, Tom is saying he listed 4 domains above.
Tom, I talked to. Tom is a really great guy. I enjoy talking to Tom.
Yes.
He's a retired veteran and a really great fellow.
Tom, could you actually post your domain names one more time? I cannot see.
Actually,
I'm unable to see that.
to tell you how good my memory is, and I'm not reading or anything, Tom, I talked to him, I think, 2 days ago or yesterday, and he's from Toledo. So, Toledo,
Wow.
Ohio. So, I remember you guys. There's no tricking me.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Adam.
Well, that wasn't that was. Oh,
Wow.
okay. Okay.
Freeman, who are you?
Okay, Freeman.
This is
All right,
this is
so
a-
I've written a few down. We'll give them a couple more minutes to get some names in case they
Here we
have.
go.
Derby Massage. Freeman, where are you located? Because you've got UK names and you've got US names. You're all over the place.
Freeman. Who are
Sounds
you?
like he's in the UK.
Lexington,
Oh, Lexington, Delaware. Maybe Delaware, yeah.
Delhi.
I think he means Delaware, but I'm not sure. Maybe not.
Or is
But
that
Lexington's in Kentucky in the States. I don't know.
or is that the domain name? Lexington, Delhi.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Delhi's going to be harder to sell, though, because I don't know how many people live in Lexington. So
Of course,
We'll
you can
keep that.
post. Yes.
Jim, post away.
Yes.
And by
if
the
you
way,
have-
90 in 2 months may be too much right away there to jump in without guidance.
Sacramento.
Sacramento gutter. Is it so? Sacramento gutter, not gutter cleaner, just Sacramento gutter.
Yes. Sounds like Reaper.
No, it's
Okay.
okay. I wrote that down too.
Okay. Very good.
Oh, he's in Maine. Okay.
Can you see my domains?
I can
now?
see your picture and I can see your question. I can't see the domains.
Why do you keep skipping my stuff? Okay. And okay. Look, one thing. Facebook, not both Facebook and YouTube, they do filter out the comments. If they will think somebody is posting as spam, so they will block those comments, and we are showing all the comments. So if or just post your name, make a space, and put com, and just close them. find the ways of how to post them, how to post your links without them appearing as links, and then they will appear, and I'll put them on the screen. So nothing is being hidden on intention. If you are a good person. If not, then
Well, we can't tell if they're a good person or not.
wow, by the comments we absolutely can.
Hmm.
Okay, and can we see your domains? No, we couldn't see that. If you could post them one more time. Okay, and so once again, AZ website design. Well, that is not a geo name, or
Well, it's Arizona. AZ is Arizona.
Yes, but is it?
Yeah, AZ is Arizona. Arizona
Okay,
website design.
Okay, accept. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Then
one sec. I'm just gonna let the dog out.
let's wait for Adam to be back. And meanwhile, for moments like these, oh no, Adam is back. Awesome. That was quick. Adam, your mic is off.
There you go. My wife would
Okay.
like to turn my mic off all the time. Marietta, Georgia roofer. It's too tough with the GA in the middle, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Marietta roofer would be better.
Okay.
I think I'm going to end up picking more than one because there's a few good ones.
Yes.
Bacterial.us. No, I'm not going to take a .us, Jim. Sorry. They're hard to sell.
Okay. Car insurance Fresno.
Car
rental Washington. Oh, cheap car rental.
So I usually like the geo on the front end of these, like Fresno Car Insurance or Washington Car Rental or London Cheap Rental London. That one's even cheap London rental would be better. So you have to be careful when you're grabbing these. Some of the words need to be in specific orders. It doesn't matter so much for sites because people will Google car rental Washington and car insurance Fresno, but the actual site name, if you're going to put a site on it, should be like Washington Car Rental.
Okay. And
Essex Cafe. That's an interesting name.
Freeman should have a really interesting domain portfolio.
Yeah, he's got some decent names. Okay, we'll let a couple more come in, and then I've got a pretty good list to choose from.
Joe, Electric Car Hire London, Electric Car London, Emergency London Plumbers.
Emergency London Plumbers is good. Electric Car Hire London's okay. Those are okay. Emergency London Plumbers may be good for this.
Okay. Let's go through that. Okay.
Well, no, it's okay.
Okay.
Scottsdale Sports Bars. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, another air person from Arizona because she's got Scottsdale and Arizona web design. AZ web design.
Okay. Flower delivery.
Hotels in Monaco, London taxi rental. Okay, there's some good ones here to choose from.
Okay. Jim. Okay,
hotels. Toronto City Rentals. Yeah, that's more real estate. Jim, I may be able to partner you up with a real estate agent for Toronto City Rentals. I'm building out a site for a real estate agent, and she needs a better domain name. Yeah, Cali Tutors and CA Tutors. Okay, so I think we're going to pick a few of them, and we'll track them as we go. Yeah, we can see them.
Yes, we can. And I have, okay.
All right, I'll take that one, Gene. I like that one. Gene, do you have a price expectation, roughly? If you could post that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to compile a list with Helmuts later, and we'll post the list.
Yes, and let us see quickly Joe's.
Yeah, I like. I'll take the Newland divorced lawyer.
Okay, that is actually Joe. How many domain names have you got? She's pulling out geos like whoa.
No, that's good though. I like the Newland. I've done a lot of divorce lawyer sales, and the singular is good for this. See what Gene puts when he comes back. So what we'll do is we'll get a list, and then we'll post the list so that we can get in between now and next week what your expected price is, and then we'll go from there.
So there is not a list, and Houston scooter rentals.
Yeah, that may be okay. It's long, but it's okay.
Okay.
And this is, by the way, what we're going to be doing in the group. I'm going to be helping you sell your domain names.
And this is the last comment.
Yeah, that one's a tough one because I'm not sure besides a directory what I could do with West Los Angeles hotels. It's not going to sell obviously to one hotel. So we have a good list. I'll go through the list and I'll send you some domains after this of which ones we've chosen, and then I'll start to work some of them this week, and then we'll track progress next week and every week after that. And we can always add new ones too.
Just 1 second, and I'm thinking. Oh, Tom. Actually, Tom. Yes. San Jose Boutique. SanJoseBoutique.com. There was. I had to release. Then Jennifer had Jennifer had phxgolf.com.
Oh, Phoenix.
Phoenix, yes, and phxgolfcards.com as well.
Well, PHX Golf is better. Okay.
And I'm trying to see from.
And I don't know, by the way, I'm writing the domains down. I'm not writing down the people, so I don't know who's who. I'm not picking favorites or anything. I'm just going by the domain names. But I think there's a lot of good ones on here that I will look at. I'll pull. I see her. So we've got Houston Scooter Rentals, San Jose Boutique, Newland Divorce Lawyer, this one, Tempe Roofer, Sacramento Gutter. We've got the CA Tutor, the Cal Tutors, Tempe Lawn Service, Maine Antique Store, Utah Tutors, Derby Massage, and AZ Website Design, and a few others. So I've got more listed, but and the Phoenix Golf. So we've got quite a few listed. We'll pull some out, and every week we can add. When we sell one, I may pick 5 to 10, and when we sell one, we'll pick another one. And so we're always trying to sell 5 to 10 domains every week for you guys, not for me. I think that makes the show more fun.
Fantastic.
For them.
And then we will announce those domains next week, yes?
Well, I'll give them to you before that.
Okay.
Gene, you've given me a challenge like everybody else. Okay, I would sell it probably around 4 to 5, so we'll see where we go with that. Cake Dubai and Dubai values. Unfortunately, I will say no. Jim, I think you need to take a look at our video that we did maybe on how to purchase a good domain name. Not that you haven't got any, just the ones we've seen are not names that I would normally go out to buy. Research, most important thing. And the other most important thing is I'm not going to BS you and tell you names are good when they're not. Like everybody else.
And then, Jim, again, every Wednesday you can ask.
Yeah.
Put up your domain names, and Adam will give his honest opinion.
That's true.
His experience and what can be better.
And listen, don't feel bad. I've had crap names too. Okay. They're not all good.
Just had. How clean is your list now, Adam?
I will say it's getting very clean. It's to the point where when I'll tell you this, I renewed a bunch of names that were due in whatever month, maybe October, November, whatever it was. And I looked at the list and I was trying to see, is there anything that I would pick out and drop? Okay. And out of the 50 or 100, just for that one registrar, there wasn't one that wasn't what I would consider premium and sellable. So I held on to them. Usually I can drop like 10 to 20% like everybody else.
Yes.
But in this list, I think there was only one that I wasn't sure of. And in the end, I just kept it, but I don't remember what it was. Because I'm looking at lists of domains all day.
Okay.
But I'm happy to do another show with people where they submit their portfolios and we help them clean their portfolio. Cleaning your portfolio may be another good show topic.
Wow. Cleaning your portfolio.
Yeah, it's something that benefits others.
Okay. And yes, so okay, thanks. Sounds
happy to help.
Soundless. Adam, can I ask you a question?
No.
Awesome. Go. Do you know who sends these postcards?
You got to hold it up so I can see it.
Yes, let me put them up like this.
My reading isn't that good. Where the value domain? No, I do not. I honestly, I don't think this helps.
I was so surprised.
There used to be a guy who went to the trade shows, the traffic shows, and he would have all of his domains and little stickers all over him, all over his back, and people thought he was crazy, but people were reading him all over and asking about his domains. So He looked kind of funny, but it worked. But I don't think sending that kind of postcard. If you send a postcard, you do it for one specific domain name, and you don't try to show them a bunch of other stuff that's way overpriced on the back that they're gonna. I just don't think it's gonna work. Personally, I mean, it's a nice little gadget, but I would say if I want to sell HostMaria, I'm going to talk about HostMaria. I'm going to talk about like even comparing companies with the name host in it doesn't really apply to HostMaria or anything else. It doesn't help. It's like saying that a com is the same as show all the comparables in .io and .cc and .co. It's not the same.
Absolutely. And he
To me.
I was thinking maybe so instead of I thought maybe he was targeting all the domainers. And bless you.
Thank you.
So I always wanted to ask you about this guy.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, and he's
Future-
using like a weird domain name.
futureunicorns.market. Can you actually
Yeah.
look up that website? Can you?
Me, sure.
Yeah, and let's share
Let me
this.
share my screen again.
Yes, let us see who's the guy.
Mhm.
And I'm curious as that is money. That is money that has been spent, and the postcards are being posted from America.
I can tell you one thing. The guy who is looking at e-mentions, he's probably yeah, that's great.
No. Sorry. Futureunicorns.market.
Okay,
Oh, that's even worse.
let's check.
Yes. So he had to own. Actually, if he's a domainer, he had to own .com as well.
Well, maybe not. So this is what you get. Top
Yes.
domains,
Okay.
and this
Let's
is probably the same as your card.
So how do you like the domains? Are the prices?
Let's click on domain to watch the court. But hold on, liquidating our top domains.
Well, this is. I think that's one of the marketings, as this card never changes.
Yeah, scalpersnet.com. I mean, no. True Republic, Charging Alley. I mean, I guess it's Have Jet Will Travel. Okay, that's at least cute. I don't know if it's worth. It's not worth 700,000. All right, I'm done with him. I don't want to ridicule the poor guy either.
Yes. Okay. No problem. Yes. Live streams as they are. The questions come out of the air and we just go through them. So, and Freeman is asking, what is your method of selling generic product domains like water tank filler or mini cake pans?
Okay, so there's a big difference between a water tank filter and a mini cake pan. So a mini cake pan, it's not going to be easy to sell. Something like that, you have to hope somebody's looking for, or you look at everybody who makes mini cake pans on Amazon and you get a hold of the manufacturers and see if you can sell mini cake pans to them. For water tank filter, you can do two things. One is you can get a hold of any HVAC company. You can make a site that has every possible water tank filter on it and sell them as well, but sell them through an affiliate program and get those done. Or you can actually contact a company that does HVAC filters and sells water tank filters and see if they're interested as well. It's very similar, but water tank filter is a much more sellable domain name than mini cake pans. And you'd say more people use mini cake pans than need a water tank filter. But how do you get to that audience? You're talking about somebody that uses a mini cake pan in their house as one of their kitchen supplies, as opposed to everybody needs to change their water filter that has one. So
absolutely,
it's a tough one because, like I said, I have what do I have? All kinds of kitchen things. I'm trying to a spatula. I mean, if somebody calls me about a spatula, I'm not going to. It's just one thing out of hundreds in the kitchen. But a mini cake pan company will be interested in it.
We had that question that did include the word domain squatter. What do you think about them?
Domains.
Domain squatters.
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts on the term?
So if you're trying to, I don't mind the term at all. The term is fine. It's valid. It doesn't apply to everybody that owns domain names. They think it applies to people who own a portfolio of domain names and just park them and just wait for people to come buy them. That's what some of the public thinks. And maybe in some cases, I'm fine with that. The bottom line is I was faster and smarter than whoever it was that actually wants it. And I don't know that they don't want it to be a cyber squatter either. Maybe they want the domain name just to hold as well till another company comes to them. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could say people are faster and smarter at you. And I wish I was faster than Bill Gates at opening Microsoft, but I wasn't. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that no, a real squatter to me, a real cyber squatter is somebody like we talked about, who is either trying to profit off of somebody else's trademark or trying to do something that's gray market and trying to sell somebody their own name or something like that, something that's shady. It's not just buying domain names for resale, because people go out. I mean, then you could say people that go out and buy multiple houses in a project and that with the hopes of selling them or renting them out are squatters as well.
Okay. Absolutely. And plus,
That doesn't mean I'm right. It just means it's my opinion.
yeah. And squatters usually do not pay anything for their comfort. They just
squatters, I picture, and this is wrong too, but I picture people in a somewhere in a camp in a tent somewhere, and they're just squatting there because they could be somewhere else, but that's where they choose to be. So I don't know.
And before we go to the next question, it is amazing and awesome to see viewers live questions coming in. This is what makes this show as brilliant as it is. So thank you all. So Jim is asking, is booking cheap hotels good? Because I bought a few domains like this where I can sell them.
Yeah, so it's not a bad domain name, but again, because you've got booking cheap hotels, you would have to have it associated with some sort of affiliate site because it's booking. So you want to set up some sort of link with some affiliate to do that. Anything with hotels that's plural is harder to sell because normally people have one hotel or they have a chain hotel and they've already got their brand. They're not going to need it if they've got multiple hotels. But I did sell that motel domain that I sold in Canada where the guy came back 3 times to buy the same domain because he kept forgetting to renew it. That was actually a motel somewhere on the east coast of Canada. So that happened.
So you sold the domain, then he dropped it?
Yes. So one other tip that I wasn't thinking of giving today is always back order domains that you sell because you may get another shot to sell the domain name.
And where do you back order them?
Oh, that was you can back order anywhere you want, Namejet, wherever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. But back order names that you sell.
Your favorite place?
I don't really have one. It really depends what the registrar is. But for me, it doesn't really matter because CAs are at a different place than, let's say, the comms. So anywhere that I know I have a shot at it is my favorite place.
Okay.
And Dropcatcher is pretty good, by the way. The ones that got e-mentions and the other one, they're very good and they get a lot. So they have the most threads to pull them in. So I'll go with that.
Okay. What is your opinion on kushretail.com, Adam?
It's good. It's good. It's a really good name. I like it. I wish I owned it. It's a good name.
Okay. Freeman, where can I buy 4-character domains? And what is the average price for them now?
It depends if you're talking 4 characters or with numbers. If you're talking about LLLs, they've come down a lot in price over the last few years. I don't know what the average price is. I sold a portfolio of about, I think, 200 and some odd of them maybe 6 years ago. I don't really pay that much attention to the 4-character ones at the moment. You could check the forums. That's the best place to look for them cheap, like on NamePros or something. Other than that, I wouldn't know where to tell you.
And sometimes on forums like NamePros, then you would have even portfolios of them.
Yeah. But don't buy the other TLDs. Just that one.
Okay, Adam. So have we missed anything?
I don't think they've let us miss anything, to be honest with you. It's been a great group and lots of cool stuff. And I think maybe tomorrow under this video or in this video, we can post some of the names we chose.
Absolutely. So let us do so. Yes. Oh, and hello. Okay.
3-word domains. So I love them. I think they're good. I'll give you the example I tend to give because they're very well targeted, especially if you're doing a product or a service. So I always say, if I say chair, you don't know if I'm selling a garden chair, a lawn chair, an executive chair. If I say black chair, you still don't know. You just know it's black. But if I say black executive chair, now we're targeting specific groups. So you know exactly what they're looking for when they go there. And I even go as far as saying black leather executive chair. and then I know specifically, but you have to still get that domain index to sell. So I like the 3 words. I don't even have a problem with a 4 word as long as it makes sense and they're in the right order. Like switching them up and saying chair, leather, executive black, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, and the questions can't stop. So he bought over 20 and also one word XYZ.
There may be a market, Jim, but it's very, very tiny, like a pinprick, unfortunately. So feel free to, I don't know, watch some videos, but stop buying names until you really know exactly what you're looking for. The XYZ market isn't good because for a while they were giving out free XYZ names with every .com that you bought. So if you bought like adamdicker.com, you get adamdicker.xyz. That's why there's so many registered, and it's misleading. And people have been renewing them for a while, but eventually they drop most of them. So unless you've got abc.xyz like Google.
And the problem with free domains, they have been mostly used to be burnt out totally.
Yeah, they get saturated.
Spammers do not care. They will destroy those domain names.
Yeah, that's what happened. And .be was free for a while as well. I don't know if you know that, but it was free
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was free for a long time. You could get them free.
Really?
Free or like 1 cent or 2 cents. Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them then, so I remember that. So yes.
Wow.
Not now though, but I mean, I think everyone let them drop or did something with them. But at least that made more sense. Could have value. That could have value. And don't think I didn't look for. And I think I bought ementions.ca because after the show I thought, well, also use sales and use sales prices to get other domains in your local ccTLD. Just because somebody posts something that's sold and it's a great price in .com, it may cue something in your head to say, well, maybe this is a good domain name in my country, or maybe it's not. But I'm not talking about .us. Stay away from that. Yeah, that could be good. That could be good. I like names that have digital in them. I have to be honest. I like those. The company that I own is called Digital Assets Development. So I'm big on digital.
Very good. And okay, thanks.
Jim, don't feel bad, man. Everybody buys some weird stuff at the beginning. Don't feel bad. There's lots of ways to improve, and you're only 2 months in. So whatever you got, we'll figure out what's good and what isn't, and we'll refocus you. Just stop buying.
Here we go.
Chilliwack. That's BC, I think. Chilliwack Roofers.
Okay.
So I was walking and watching. Yeah, that's okay. Chilliwack Roofers is a good name. Chilliwack's a big city, if it's spelled right.
Okay, and then there was another one. Okay, so I suppose, Adam, we can stop on this one. What would you say to our viewers apart from the domain names?
No, I think I really appreciate being on the show and being able to talk to and spend so much time with these people. And what I really like is being able to answer questions that are targeting what they want to know and not what I want to spout off on, because personalizing it and giving them what they really need to know, how they can benefit and how they can improve, is the most important thing from any domain course, talk show, anything you do, podcast. It's not about me spouting off on how great I am. It's about what I can do to personalize your experience and make it better for you.
Fantastic. So thank you all. And of course, thank you, Adam. And once again, what is the best way to reach you?
Oh, cell phone, text me, 416-884-0535. You can WhatsApp me again, same number, 416-884-0535. Or you can email me at adam.dicker@gmail.com. And like others have seen, I will respond.
And 416 +1 416.
Yeah, +1 for you Europeans.
Bang. Or for Mexicans.
Well, probably. For anybody outside of North America, I guess, and Mexicans.
Yes. Thank you all for watching. And of course, once again, thank you, Adam. Thank you, Adam. Your experience
My pleasure.
is fantastic.
It's my pleasure. Now let's start selling some domains for these guys.
See you all next Wednesday.